Hey, what's going on, good people? It's Lenny. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the continuing adventures of Lenny Wanser. That's me. Today I'm going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors. Game 2 of the NBA Finals is going to be on tonight. Currently Toronto leads that series 1-0. So that game's going to be coming on tonight, which got me thinking about the Golden State Warriors and their current status. And the way I look at it, the current climate for the Golden State Warriors is that they are now the bad guys of the NBA. When did this happen? When did the Golden State Warriors become the bad guys of the NBA? I'm not talking about bad people when I say bad guys, that they're out there doing bad things. I'm not necessarily even calling them the bad boys like the Detroit Pistons used to be called in the 80s and 90s. But something does happen when a team has success, and when a team has continual success and repeat success. Something happens. The climate changes and people look at this team differently. And that's what I'm going to be discussing here. When did the Golden State Warriors become the bad boys of, or not the bad boys, but the bad guys of the NBA? So just a little bit of history here. The Golden State Warriors did actually win a championship before this current string of championships that they have. They actually won in 1975. That's the last time that they won before the latest championship string that they have here. And they have had notable players throughout their franchise history. They had Rick Barry, they had Tim Hardaway, they had Chris Mullin. But the Golden State Warriors were a team that couldn't really and didn't really thrive well in the West back in the past, back in the 90s, back in the 80s, back in the 70s. So you had teams that were constantly kind of getting in their way. Of course, you had the Los Angeles Lakers, you had the Phoenix Suns, you had the Houston Rockets, you had Seattle Supersonics. All of these teams had a very strong presence in the Western Conference during this time, and it was very difficult for the Golden State Warriors to get a lot of playoff experience, let alone the fact that there's other teams in California. So you're competing against Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers, Sacramento Kings, and then you have the Golden State Warriors. So very, very heavy NBA influence within California itself, within the Western Conference, which was another reason why Golden State didn't used to have a lot of success. But that did change, as we know, that did change, and presently things are still looking good for Golden State. Now, here's the thing though. What happens when the team that used to be the underdog, the team that people used to root for, becomes the team that people want to lose, becomes the team that people are sick of, becomes the team that everyone complains about? It's a very interesting dynamic. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the die-hard Golden State fans. The Golden State fans, ride or die, the true fans, have seen a lot of downs with this franchise, and they get to deserve the ups. And that's a part of it being a true fan. So I'm not saying that everyone considers the Golden State Warriors the bad guys of the NBA. But those people that don't necessarily like Golden State, that don't follow the team, who might just be a casual fan of the NBA or a fan of another team, there did used to be some rooting for the underdog, for the team that hasn't won in a long time, for that team that hasn't had championship glory in a long time. And that was the Golden State Warriors. They were the underdogs consistently. Scrappy little players that would do their best but couldn't get over that hump. And then things started to change. They had Mark Jackson as a coach that started the process rolling, and then Steve Kerr came in to be their head coach. Also, they drafted great players. They made a lot of good moves. Probably the best move they made was getting Steph Curry. And that's the beginning and the rise of something that is become a dynasty in the NBA. It's truly a dynasty now. There's no doubt about that. You can like the team, you can dislike the team, but you can't argue the fact that the Golden State Warriors are definitely a dynasty. They are a force to be reckoned with. But, again, something happens climate-wise and attitude-wise and perception-wise when a team wins a lot. You can look at different sports for the same example. The New England Patriots, the Boston Red Sox, the Boston Celtics. There's different teams that have had continuous New York Yankees for baseball that have a stigma of always winning, of always being good. Even though there's seasons where they're not, people still can't stand those teams because of the previous success they had in the past. With winning comes a very upbeat, positive attitude. You can call it swagger. And this team, Golden State's got a lot of swagger. Swagger can be perceived as cockiness, as an attitude, as being, as being perceived as being a bunch of dicks, to be honest with you. So when you don't already like a team, and a team seems cocky because they got swagger, because they can't be stopped, because no one is stopping them, that adds to the culture of a team being despised. What else didn't help in this situation, this climate change that's been brewing for a couple of years, is Kevin Durant. The Kevin Durant situation. So Kevin Durant used to play for OKC, and he had trouble getting past certain teams in the Western Conference. One of those teams being the very team that he plays for now, the Golden State Warriors. This could be a whole different topic and a whole different video. But Kevin Durant followed the motto of, if you can't beat them, join them. Is that wrong? I guess it depends on the individual. I guess it depends case by case and circumstances, what have you. Who am I to judge for Kevin Durant if that was right? I do have my own opinion about it, and maybe I'll speak about that on a different video. But needless to say, he did join the Golden State Warriors, adding more firepower to a team that was already pretty stacked with role players. So besides having Steph Curry, you have Klay Thompson, you have Draymond Green, you have Andre Iguodala, and now you add Kevin Durant to that mix. That's pretty deadly. So, more continued success, more fuel to the fire, making people already feel that the NBA is stacked with teams that are just superstars, basically smaller iterations of a dream team itself. And that is another problem that makes people a little bit more angry and kind of blame Golden State, because it's contributing to that factor of, hey, let's just get as many superstars as we can and keep going. Now, I don't want it to sound like I don't respect the Golden State Warriors. I do. I have a lot of respect for that team and that franchise of what they've gone through and what they are doing. It is very impressive. I mean, they have been to the NBA Finals since 2015, all right? So 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. That is 5 consecutive years in the NBA Finals. They have won 3 of those that they've been in, 2015, 2017, 2018. So they have a back-to-back championship. If they win this one, the 2019 one, they have three-peated. That is very impressive. Does it make for excellent television, excellent NBA Finals ratings? No, it probably doesn't, because a mass majority of the populace is very tired of Golden State winning. Now, people are rooting for the Toronto Raptors, which is a very interesting place to be in. Now, you might be a huge Toronto Raptor fan, you might be a fan of Drake, therefore you're a fan of Toronto Raptors, you might be a fan of Kawhi Leonard, you might like other people on the Toronto Raptors. The point that I'm getting to is, here are the Toronto Raptors and Golden State have switched places. Not necessarily Toronto, but Golden State has switched places. Now, Golden State is the team that people can't stand. Now, Golden State is the team that people are hoping loses. Now, the Toronto Raptors are the darlings of the NBA. And people would love to see this underdog, this team that has never won an NBA championship, get their first one against a team that already has 3 in the current years that we're in and has won previously. So I would love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think of the Golden State Warriors. Are you a fan of the Golden State Warriors? Do you feel that people still love and support the Golden State Warriors? Do you feel it's a team where a lot of fair weather fans have jumped on? I can tell you, being out in California, you have seen a decrease in the amount of people that wear Los Angeles Lakers jerseys, even though LeBron is on the team, than you do the people that wear Golden State Warrior jerseys. Now, Golden State, they're located up north, further up north, but there has been a different shift, a big shift in the number of people that rock those jerseys. How many of those people have been fans before? I don't know, and I guess we'll never know. But it's very interesting. So I would love to know your comments. Please let me know who you're rooting for in the NBA Finals. Please let me know who you hope wins the NBA Finals. Please let me know if you agree with this topic, if you don't agree. So please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified and sent a notification when I do my latest uploads. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for letting me talk your ears off again. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. I love doing this, so thank you so much. Be safe out there. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. And have a great day, great evening, great night. And I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.